Oh, wait. Shit. That jingle is taken. Oh my goodness. Welcome to the first ever Dare to Rest podcast episode. I'm laughing. I'm laughing so much of myself right now. I have been wanting to start this podcast for, I don't even remember how long. I think 2, maybe 3 years. I've never really felt that there was a perfect timing for it to come through. Like, you know that moment where you're thinking, I'm ready. I have the jingle. I have the intro. I have the idea of what to include in the podcast. I have all the things. That moment never, ever happened. It never fucking happened. And I thought to myself, today, in this very moment, I make it the perfect moment. I make it the perfect moment. I don't need a jingle. I don't need an introduction text. I don't need to know exactly what's going on and what's going to happen and what this is going to lead to, where the ripples will go. I don't need to have a script. I don't need to have anything. I get to show up here and just be me, to share my truth, to share my voice, to let my creative juices just flow. And this is so typical of me. I hate being a person in a box. I hate feeling like I have to fit into a box. I hate feeling like I have to fit into certain rules. Yet whenever I start new things, I first and foremost tend to look for structure, for rules, for guidelines, because that's how I learn to feel safe. So me recording this first ever podcast episode from my bed, completely naked, looking out in nature, not having left my bed yet, and it's 11 a.m., having had the most, I don't want to say crazy morning, but just the most deep, profound, true, honest, real morning. Now's the perfect time. I don't need to show up on a podcast in a certain way. I don't need to show up in the world in a certain way. And I definitely don't need to do things a certain way for it to be a quote unquote real podcast. I get to just dare to be me. I get to just be me. And that's the most liberating thing in the whole freaking world. Like, I get to be me. I get to do this my way. I don't need to do this for you to love me or hate me or anything in between. I don't need to create this in a curated way to indirectly impact or manipulate your experience of me in this podcast. I can actually just show up here as me, and anyone who resonates with this desire of just being able to show up with the truth of the moment, with what is, without needing to perform, without needing to look or be a certain way, just being, those people, they are gonna want to listen to the next couple of rounds of this podcast. I've had a crazy, now I'm actually going to use the word crazy. I've had a crazy morning. Because when I woke up this morning, I had so much anxiety in my body, this anxious feeling around my heart, really. An anxious feeling of, can I really do this? Did I make some wrong choices? Will what I dream of ever come to happen? So much anxiety. And usually, I would have busied myself. I would have numbed myself in some way or form to not have to sit with that feeling of doubt, of shame, of being fearful that I've been wrong in the past, fearful that I've taken steps that prevents me from building the future I desire. A future version of me would have gotten up, told herself to pull herself back up, to get her shit together, and to go create, to go produce, to go be productive. But that's not that version of me that exists anymore. I'm a different woman. So I decided to stay. I decided to not abandon myself in one of those times where I really felt like it was the only right thing to do, to leave. But I chose differently. I chose to stay. I chose to be with myself. I held my husband's hand this morning and I looked him deep into his eyes and I said, this is one of those days that I feel like I just need to break. I need to break. And I have the most amazing husband in the world. He just looks at me and says, okay. Do you want me to go grab a tissue box? And I said, yes, please. And as I said that, I also felt a single tear running down my face. Just knowing that it's actually safe for me to crack myself open. To just be with what is. So that's what I did. And for the past 3 hours, I've been sitting with myself. I've been sitting with myself and my emotions, my feelings, trying not to distract myself from the truth of the moment, to just dare to rest, to dare to be with what is. And not too long ago, I had the feeling of, okay, I'm actually ready to face the world again. And then I had this hunch of, you need to anchor in this moment. You need to anchor in this moment. So I thought, what better way of anchoring in this moment than to share it in a completely imperfect way with the world. Just allowing myself to be seen in my truth, in my moment. It's not the prettiest of moments, but it's the truth. Because, as I said, I've been wanting to start this podcast for years. I've been thinking, okay, so what what episode goes first? Like, how do I let them into my world? How do I do this in the best way? Or where should I start? How do I tell them my story? What Dare to Rest is all about? And I've really been trying to curate the right experience rather than just leading with the truth. But this is it. This is what Dare to Rest is all about. The courage to be with the truth of the moment, of daring to rest into yourself, into your peace, into your power, into your potential, into life. It's so easy for us as humans to approach life or rest or anything basically with rush, with urgency, or to try and avoid it. But there's a truth, a deeper truth beneath. The truth is, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be a certain way. We don't need to curate life. We don't need to make it look a certain way. What matters is not what it looks like. What matters is what it is and what it feels like. So I feel that this was a perfect way of letting you in on this first episode, of showing you that I'm a human, of reminding myself that I just get to be a human and I get to share my human experience. I get to be here, just being me, just like you get to be you. And that's the beauty of everything. Of course, a curated experience can be fun, but if it stops the flow of life, is it worth it? Or does it just mean that we'll stay stuck in a moment that will never happen, stuck with a dream that will never happen, because we're aiming for perfection rather than taking action, brave action, daring to rest into the moment, daring to be who we are in the moment. Life is so much more fun when we are brave. And we get to feel so much more. We get to feel so much more alive. But it's not always easy. It's not. I even feel speaking this out. Will they judge me? Will they not like this? There's a voice inside of me going, maybe I'll never send this. Maybe it's just for me. But you know what? I've tried that approach. I've tried to curate the experience. I've tried to have the courage to do the bold and brave thing, but not follow through. But today I'm going to choose differently. I don't know what this podcast is going to be about going forward. I might have guests. I might do solo episodes. I might do marathon long episodes. I might do short ones. I don't know. And I don't need to know. Because if I knew, I would have already done it. But I don't need to know. I get to be here. I just get to express my voice and have fun with it. That's what I want more than anything for that podcast. I want it to be a way for me to self-express. I want it to be a way for you to figure out who you are, who I am. And maybe, just maybe, you'll figure out and find out and feel, shit, that woman is onto something. I'm feeling something close to her. maybe a permission slip to be you, maybe a sense of liberation, maybe I don't know what you're feeling. So what are you feeling right now? Could you just take 10 seconds just to tune in and feel? What has this made you feel so far? What are you feeling right now? And honestly, I don't need you to feel a certain way. If you feel good, you might tune in again at a later stage. If you don't, you won't, and that's fine. Because there's so much space in this world for you, there's space in this world for me, and we all get to be here. We all get to coexist. And if our roads are meant to cross, if our roads are meant to meet and align and follow each other for a while, for whatever reason, that's perfect. It gets to just unfold. I'm so happy that I decided to anchor in this moment. I actually feel like a weight has been lifted from my shoulders. Because this is a prove it moment. Not that I need to prove anything, but it's me writing the story as I want to remember it. I did something. I did something brave. And I can always go back and listen to this podcast, this very first of probably many Dare to Rest podcast episodes. I did the brave thing. I'm sharing it with the world. And I have no idea where this is taking me. I'm just flirting with the unknown. I'm being with the truth of the moment. I'm daring to rest into this experience right now. And that puts the biggest smile on my face. So with that, I'm going to end this very, very random, very unprepared first ever episode of the Dare to Rest podcast. And I feel fucking good about it because this is the real me. This is the real me. Completely uncurated. 1,000 ideas in her head. Raw, real, honest, loving. And with so many dreams for the future. So, I'm going to leave you here for now. Thank you for tuning in. I know that there are some brilliant episodes coming up. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for witnessing me in my liberation of myself. This is a turning point. It's a line in the sand moment. And I'm so glad I got to share it with you.